What's going on, guys? It's your boy Joe Fotoleo. We're Quad Mafia, and here's your FPV tip. My FPV tip, if you're new like me to building your own quads, I want to talk about soldering today. When it comes to soldering, take your time. You don't want anything bad to happen in the air, so take your time, get good solid joints, get a nice pre-tinned pad, get a nice pre-tinned wire, join the two together. If you're having trouble getting the solder ball look nice, move on to the next pad, move on to the next wire, move on down the run, and come back to it. That's what I typically do, is get them on there pretty well, and then I'll come back and add a little bit of solder, a little more flux, and get the solder joint to look a lot nicer. When it comes to the soldering on the flight controller, same deal. Use a soldering tip that's adequate size for the pad. So you want to use a smaller tip on the pads of the flight controller than you would on the ESC, especially for the battery leads. I use a much larger one on the battery leads than I do on the motor wires, and an even smaller one yet on the flight controller joints. So that's my tip for you. Take your time, make it look nice, add a little flux, add a little solder, heat it up. I like about 820 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about the sweet spot for me. So happy building, and see you guys later. Peace.
This is Onyx FPV, and we're Quad Mafia. Today I'm here to give you a little FPV tip. I believe this is a very, very important tip, and that is to keep your lipos stored properly in between you going and flying. What's going on, FPV nerds? I take the storage and the charging of lipos pretty serious, because in an instant this can go up in flames. You want to find a flat surface, preferably away from anything flammable. I also provide a fan, because that charger can get quite hot. When you're finished charging, go ahead and put your lipo in your specified lipo storage bag. I really like this Torval. Ethics makes a great one, and so does Race Day Quads. But make sure that these bags are for the storage of lipos. Don't just use just any random bag. This will ensure that if there is a fire, it's contained. A lot of people also use those metal ammunition safes. Those work great as well.
Yo, what's up everybody? This is Nappy FPV, and we are Quad Mafia. My tip of the day is do not be afraid to crash. Like when I was new, I thought a good successful day out was not crashing, and it really held me back for probably, I don't know, 6 months. I would go out and fly 3 packs, not crash. Then I got like more packs, and like my goal was not to crash. And that's not going to get you any better.
Hey guys, Chris from Have Drone Will Fly here. One of the best tips I could give to you today is, coming from the automotive industry, being a mechanic for most of my life, we were always taught the right tool for the job. A lot of times tools like these can get you by. Fortunately, fall out. Regular Allen heads, they did not long enough, or they get in the way. You always have to try to work around them. I picked up a cheap little set just designed for this, which makes it a lot easier. I got a nice little 4 set from Fly High FPV. Comes with 3 of the more common Allens and a prop wrench, making it a lot easier to get in and also use. They have nice firm grips, spots for more screws, makes life a lot easier. Now when you crash a lot like me, you would like to get into the repair, and this makes it all much more funner and easier.
Quadmafia. My FPV tip is if you're new and you want to get into FPV. My background was sales and networking, and I got into drones about 2017, but I got into camera drones because I didn't know any FPV pilots. So the main part of my tip is if you want to get into FPV, you got to get into the community and don't be shy. It's a great community. Everybody wants to help, and you will need a lot of help because you're gonna have to learn how to fix things. You're gonna have to be an electronic genius in order to be able to work these things. You gotta learn how to solder. A lot of things you're gonna have to learn how to do. The biggest help for me was just introducing myself to everyone and getting involved. Don't be shy. I used social media was a big help for me. 3 main ones that I've used have been YouTube, obviously, Discord, and Facebook. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in Discord with other pilots that were willing to take time out of their day to help me. It's the biggest thing is get on social media, get involved, and learn from other people. Just getting into the Discords and listening to them bounce ideas off of each other also helped me a lot. And I would do anything to be able to help this community. I'm not the best teacher, but I've learned a lot, and I'm able to teach now as well as still learning every day. And I owe a lot to Quadmafia for that. They have spent a ton of time with me. If you need help, reach out to us, reach out to anybody in the community. I promise you, you'll get warm welcomes, and they're more than happy to help.
Hey FPV pilots, Michael here from FlyZone FPV, and we're Quadmafia. And my tip for you today is FPV Simulator. And we're going to be sharing the benefits that it provides for every FPV pilot. First off, if you're new to FPV or you're thinking about getting into FPV, starting with a simulator is a fantastic idea. The best part, you can crash all you want without worrying about damaging your expensive equipment. Plus, it allows you to practice and refine your skills in a risk-free environment. Flying in an FPV simulator helps you get accustomed to the controls and the feel of flying without the fear of crashing. It does sharpen your reflexes and improves your muscle memory, which is very crucial when you transition to a real thing out in real life. Now, simulators are also great for learning new tricks and maneuvers. And my advice to you is that if you are learning a new trick, what I'd advise you to do is to learn that trick. Keep repeating that trick, learn that trick, and accomplish that trick. Once you're done accomplishing that trick, you can get into the next trick and do the same thing there. Then what you can do is you can start adding all those tricks as a combo and picking your lines and add those combos, and it will look very, very nice. Now, another benefit in the FPV simulator is that the variety of environments you can fly in. You can practice flying in different locations and weather conditions, which is not always possible in real life. It helps you become more of a versatile pilot. Plus, it is super fun. So, if you're just getting started into FPV flying, invest some time in the sim. It really helps. It's a game changer. And there are a few sims out there. There's Liftoff, there's Velocidrone, there's Trip, there's Uncrashed, and there is my favorite, FPV Logic. So my two favorites are Uncrashed and FPV Logic. Those are the two sims that I usually fly in constantly. And we fly with a bunch of team pilots. We fly with friends. There's multi-player in there. So here is the benefits of each one. Velocidrone has realistic physics, highly customizable settings, wide variety of tracks and environments, and it's very ideal for FPV racers. They go into Velocidrone. Liftoff is easy to start with for beginners, offers multiplayer options. It includes tutorial and community challenges. Uncrashed has realistic graphics, dynamic weather conditions, and it has free flight and race modes. Now, Trip has high quality visuals. It has a variety of maps as well, and landscapes. It is suitable for freestyle and racing too. So that is something that I've tried before, but I haven't continued with trips, so I got into FPV Logic and uncrashed. Now FPV Logic is user-friendly interface, has detailed flight mechanics, has high graphics, it looks very realistic, and it focuses on training and skill improvement. So that's something really cool with FPV Logic. And they are coming out with a multiplayer as well that's coming soon. So that's my FPV tip for you. With that said, guys, happy ripping and have fun. We'll see you on the next one.
Hey, what's up? Neil FPV here. We are Quadmafia, and here's my tip for you. So, once you start your FPV journey, right away start entering gaps. That's the biggest mistake I made. I started entering gaps like trees here on my 8th month. That was so late. So, yeah, guys, start entering gaps as early as possible. Don't worry about breaking your quad, and it's normal. And if you don't break your quads, it means you're not trying hard enough. Again, I'd like to emphasize, start entering gaps and don't worry about breaking your quad. And that's the only thing that will make you become a really good pilot. Alrighty guys, that's all I wanted to share. Again, please start entering gaps as early as possible. Alrighty, later.